All right, y'all. So today, for some reason, I feel a really strong urge to talk about the concept of trusting the plan. A lot of us, especially the younger, like our age, like 18 to 30, have a really hard time really figuring out like what our purpose is, or what we're being led to, or just trying to wrap our heads around the circumstances regarding our lives and like why certain things are allowed to happen. And me and a good friend of mine, shout out Quinn, we were talking the other day, and it seems like a lot of people have this problem. So I want to share with you guys the story of Joseph in the Bible, and I'm going to tie it in to the point of this whole video. So stay until the end so that you can see how everything comes together. So Joseph is the son of Jacob, right? And Joseph has a lot of brothers. I believe it's either 11 or 12. I think it ended up being 12. But so he has the gift of dream interpretation. And one day when he was younger, he had this dream about how his brothers and his father, and essentially his family, would be bowing at his feet, foreshadowing what he would become later on. And they hated him even more than they already did, because they hated him. They hated him. And so they ended up selling him into slavery in Egypt. But what they didn't know is the fact that he was sold to the Pharaoh of Egypt's official named Potiphar, right? Hold on to that one. Potiphar takes a liking to Joseph, and he promotes him to essentially his personal assistant, where he's taking care of everything this man owns, everything. Potiphar's wife begins to find Joseph attractive and tries to get him to sleep with her. And he refused and refused and refused, and she lied on him and got him put in prison. What she didn't know was the fact that he was being sent to the same prison where the king, which is the Pharaoh, the king's prisoners are. Hold on to that one. So he gets there, and the warden of the prison takes a liking to him, to Joseph. Puts him in charge of basically the entire prison. Hold on to that one. The Pharaoh has these two officials that he has a problem with, and he sends them to the prison. Joseph sees them, and he asks why they seem so troubled, because they had these looks on their faces. And both of them had dreams that they had no idea what they meant. Remember his gift. So they tell him the dreams. He explains what the dreams mean to him. Essentially, one of them had a dream where they were going to be released from the prison in 3 days, and the other one had a dream where they were going to be executed by the Pharaoh and his officials. This is what Joseph told them. So Joseph, after he gives them their interpretations, he's like, yeah, make sure you tell Pharaoh about me so I can get out of here, because I've been wrongly accused of something I did not do. Fast forward, 2 years later, they completely forgot about him, until the Pharaoh has a dream himself that no one in the entirety of Egypt can decipher. And the official that survived tells the Pharaoh that he made a miscalculation, and that he forgot to tell the Pharaoh that there is someone locked up in that prison who has the gift from God of dream interpretation. So Pharaoh's like, get him. They went and got him. Pharaoh tells him the dream, which was essentially about the next 7 years in Egypt being prosperous, and then the 7 years after that being a famine that will make those previous 7 good years seem like they never happened. Joseph gives the Pharaoh step-by-step instructions on what to do. Pharaoh makes him the second in command of the entirety of Egypt. So he went from being hated by his brothers and sold off into slavery to becoming the right-hand man of the king of Egypt. Everything that transpired had to, in order for this man to attain the status that he ended up achieving. So I say all that to say, just because a situation seems unfavorable to you does not mean there is no favor over you. Joseph named his son Ephraim, which essentially means, God, you have blessed me in a land that has cursed me. Pretty much. He named his son that. Everything you go through is absolutely for a reason and is going to get you closer to your purpose and destination. Everything that occurs, good and bad, one of those events not happening derails your entire life track. There is a bigger plan in place than anything we could ever imagine. Trust it.